Shoot. I pressed it a little too early. Women Insurance Producers Unfiltered. It is an unfiltered conversation. It's Friday, and we're having it with the beautiful Melissa D. Hall. Now, this is going to be going on all of our platforms, and we're just going to have an unfiltered conversation. Linda and I have some questions, and Melissa was gracious enough to give us some of her time. So thank you and welcome. And we're very, very excited to have you here.
Thank you all. Thank you all. I appreciate it so much. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, so I'll get us started and relax us just a little bit. But if you're watching this for the first time, you've not seen any of the others in our series, a couple of things to remember. Our biggest goal with doing these is to show you guys that we have more in common than we do differences. At the end of the day, when we strip everything away, we're all going through the same things. Some of the questions we ask, they're thought-provoking, and that's for a reason. We want not only for you guys to learn how Melissa D. Hall thought about it, but we want you to think about it in your own terms. So ask yourself these questions as we go along. And just remember, we're unfiltered, not assholes. So Melissa, just starting us off quick and easy. I like to get a little laughter going on and try to figure out you just a little bit without you telling me. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to answer a question about music, about shoes, or about TV?
TV.
TV. All right. So I want you to go. I didn't even ask how old you are, so I don't know. But I want you, I want you to go back to either your high school years or let's say like 15 to 25. That kind of time period. What was Melissa D. Hall watching on TV?
Who was I watching? I was watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It had just came on. I am actually a big TV person. So as some of your audience may know, a lot of people know me from doing TV, from doing television commercials and interviews, because I always wanted to be on TV. Like ever since I was younger, like it was always just something I wanted to do. I was fascinated. Like people used to ask me like, what's your favorite thing to do? And I didn't want to say it was watching TV because, you know, people are like, oh, you're a couch potato. Like when people hear that you like to watch TV, they automatically assume that you're lazy, right? But I love watching TV to the point where like I was obsessed with the Maury Show. And I was obsessed with the Maury Show. And the Maury Show.
Give us the line. Give us the famous line.
You are not the father.
Off stage.
Okay. Yes. I was obsessed, and like it came on at 9 a.m. I was supposed to be at school at like 8:30. Like my mom, she used to watch me go to the bus stop. I used to watch her leave. I'd go back in because I needed to see.
Did you do the guessing? Like, were you the one that's like, oh yeah, hell yeah, that's
yes.
He's the dad. He's the dad.
To the point, and I'll say this: I actually went to the Maury Show one day. Yes, when I lived in Baltimore, I went to be in the audience. So me and my girlfriend, we got up early and drove to Connecticut and stood in line.
Wow. I love it. I love it.
Yes. So I would say yes, love and hip hop, but Maury, I was watching. I love you, Maury. Like,
did you pick up like Yola laughs at me sometimes because it doesn't matter what I'm watching or what I'm doing. I'm looking for a reference for work. So whether it's like going through the drive-through and somebody's rude or whatever, I'm like, well, that probably wasn't the best. Did you watch more? Now looking back, you've put some of the things that you learned from his show into application with yours?
I don't think so per se. I mean, I don't think so because
he doesn't have 3 different baby daddies.
Yeah,
so
I don't have any baby daddies.
I mean,
I don't
production wise.
But I will say this. One thing about Maury, and I can say this for myself. Maury, Maury could talk to all types of people and still could, even if they were like, the worst type, no matter how ignorant they sounded. Like I had a guy, so I used to have my own talk show, okay, for seniors called the Golden Report. And I would have some characters. And I had one character, it was a guy, he had 16 different kids, okay? His mom was raising them.
Wow.
And I feel like Maury is very neutral and he tries to get to the story, right? He still treats people with respect, even when they don't have it for themselves. And I am very much so like that,
So you did, in fact, learn something from
Girl,
watching
ain't nobody playing
Maury.
with you. Ain't nobody playing. What type of insurance you sell, Linda?
Final expense, baby. Final
Oh,
expense.
that's what it is. That's it. You scrappy. You got to be scrappy for that. I'm sure you have your permitted conceal, huh?
I mean, only these bad boys.
Should we sit around chasing these folks for payments? Okay. Love her one day, hate her the next. Okay?
Oh man, that's the truth. That's the
Not for the
truth.
faint of heart. That's
It's
sure.
not.
I love it.
You
Well,
love it.
I
This
love it.
is not for the faint of heart, which is what brings us all together and how we're so alike is because you have found your niche with Medicare. You have done some amazing things for the seniors and you've done great things for the agents too on the national level. I remember when you did your first your best AEP ever, that's when I started following you because something about your presentation, your aura, the way that you are behind camera, you were meant for the spotlight and you can tell that. Looking back, what does that version of you, what was the most important lesson that you've learned throughout all of this, the journey?
Throughout the journey, I would say throughout the journey, I've learned this. We may get into some of it. I have learned to never lose your love for people. Never lose your love for people. Never lose the love, for the clients, because the clients make you. Okay, the clients make you. Even the agents, the agents will disappoint you. These people in this business, they disappoint you. They will do all types of crazy stuff that you're like, huh? And you still have to never lose your love for them, never lose your happy. And when you keep that right there is always fresh. It's a lot of people who come into this business, you see them, they're here one day, gone tomorrow, right? A lot of it could be because they don't know the business, they don't uneducated about how this business works, right? But a lot of it has to deal with getting screwed over. And getting screwed over is just part of this business, y'all. I'm so sorry. I don't care how much, who you came in with, whatever due diligence you do. Getting screwed over, it's just part of business. It happens. And that right there can really jade you, right? It could really jade you. And in those moments, you have a choice to either let it jade you or to turn it into wisdom. And you meet so many people where they let it jade them. It lets them take that spark out their eye, right? It turns them into the same person who they kind of campaigned against, because at
Preach it.
I'm just telling you, because one thing, the Bible always say to pray for your enemies. And the reason why it tells you to pray for your enemies, because if you don't, at some point you become like them. At some point, you become like your enemy.
Yeah.
So you definitely need to pray for your enemy. You need to keep your spark, because that is what really attracts people to them. And that's what I would tell that's what I think I have learned the most.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. This business is I don't remember where I said it, but on one of our conversations, this business is a contact sport. I mean, you're gonna take some licks, and let's face it, we've probably given some licks too.
For sure.
It is what it is. Yeah. But you're right, and I've been through that. I'm 9 years in at this point, but I recall maybe a 2-year window where I was so jaded, I was stepping over myself. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was blocking my success just basically by what I was telling myself. But let me hit you with this one, since you're in the social media world. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of where you've gone. This all has taken you. So you started with insurance, and it
Yes.
kind of blossomed into. I don't think you're going to end with insurance. It's
Yeah.
probably going to go outside of that. But do you ever feel like through your online presence, you lose the true, authentic Melissa D. Hall?
No, I don't, because um online is just online, right? And I'm literally like what you're seeing right now. That's who I am in real life. Okay. Probably a little bit even more intense in person. So I don't get caught up in the hype for real. Like I have learned to focus on my business. Like I kind of like live in a bubble. I really do. Like
Kind of got
yeah, like, oh, people like, oh, Melissa, you're so great and all this stuff. And thank you. It feels good, right? But I guess for me, I know what I go through behind the scenes, like doing the work, the work, getting up early, the sacrifices, how ghetto it can get out here. So it's like me being online and stuff. It's like, I love it. I just like to make people feel good, but it's like, I know what I'm going back to is the work. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not around necessarily a bunch of people who kiss my butt all the time, per se, because I'm doing the work. You know what I mean? So
in the
yeah.
in the Medicare world, in social media, in the Medicare world, more people than Yola or myself do, because
Hmm.
you've been in the space longer.
Yeah.
Do you see that a lot? That what somebody shows on camera does not equal the true intentions of said person?
Sure. I mean, let me just say this. I mean, what they show on quote unquote social media per se. Um, how about what they show me when I meet them in person, right? And what they say to me versus what they do to me. Okay? That's two different things. Okay? That's two different things. What they say to me, then what they do to me or say out, those are two different things. I don't, again, I see people here I've met, and when I say here, I mean social media, right? Some of them I've had the chance to meet, right, in person, had conversations and things, blah blah woo woo. But I mean, me personally, I don't even really go to conferences and things of that sort. Like, I kind of took a break from that for like the past like 3 years. Like, I went to Medicarians because I was invited to speak there. Like, I'm going to be at the NABID meeting in Virginia because I was invited to speak there. But I rarely go to those conferences and stuff. I mean, unless you're kind of paying me to go or something, like I'm not going to those things. I'm not, unless I'm speaking, you paying me, whatever, because it's I'm just not into it. Call it the only child in me or whatever. I'm just really keeping it real. I go where I need to go. I do. I go where I need to go. I do. Like, I'm just I don't know. It's so superficial. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a real person. I'm out here trying to get it out the mud. Like, I'm not a millionaire quite yet. I got things to do, and I'm not trying to get caught up in all that other stuff. And that's for real. If I need to see something, I will go ahead. I will buy the virtual replay. I create my own events. I partner with folks who I feel are authentic and who bring a value to my audience. And like I said, if you want to book me, you can go to melissadhall.com/speaking. And that's about it. I stay out of it. I even a lot of those
So
Facebook
you never clap back anymore?
anymore. Have I clapped back? Have I? I don't really like to clap back because like one thing about me is this. Um, some people, how they say, some people fight and others go straight to hell. You know what I mean? Like, I take that as too seriously. I really do. I take that too seriously. Like, I really do. It ain't all funny games. I've seen a lot of people, they have little disagreements online and then they're friends later and all that stuff like that. That's not me. Seriously, like, I mean this. I mean
She
this.
said she gonna cut you.
No, but
Cut you.
but no, because I'm not, I stay out the way. And that's really kind of how I try to keep it with everyone. It's only, yeah, I really try to keep it like that. Like, I can dislike you, but I don't need to necessarily, um, use my platform that I've worked hard for,
Yeah.
to bring light to you.
Right.
If you
I'm not.
stay if you stay in your own lane, you don't have to worry about the traffic. You just keep
Exactly.
going down the road. Yeah.
Exactly. And believe you me, like, I see you. You know what I mean? Some of y'all group leaders, I see you. Don't think I don't. Just because I don't respond does not mean that I don't see you. But I have worked really hard for my platform, okay? Really hard to attract people to it, that I'm not going to go and shine my light on you that I've worked so hard for. You get what I'm saying? And give you any of that. I'm not. So, the end.
People attack platforms that they are threatened by. They attack people that they feel like that are doing things that they can't do, and that's where the hate and that's why you have haters. And I commend you for that, because we've all been attacked online, and it's like, am I going to respond that's going to make me the best human version of me? Because it's not about clapping back to anybody. It's about really, not addressing and getting in the arena with pigs. I look at it like,
Mm-hmm.
you can say what you want to say, but it's only going to show who you are. It'll never, if I don't comment and if I don't come back and clap back at you, then it just kind of shows who you are. I'm not going to get a reaction. Like, you're not going to get a reaction out of me. So I commend you on that, because it's a learning curve. A lot of us are still going through that emotional roller coaster and that awareness of emotion. Like, just because I feel it right now does not mean I need to go on Facebook and air it out to the world. And that's where a lot of people in leaderships, I feel like they falter.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, at some point we all have emotions, but you got to learn how to control them.
Yeah. And if your success aggravates me, it's on me. I should be happy for your success. I shouldn't be like, well, she slept her way to the top, or she did this, or she did, like, I mean, we hear it in every industry, not just insurance, but and a lot of times we just did a live, Yola and I just did a live within the group where I said my piece, of, you should not take every opportunity that's presented to you to undercut another female. You can keep your mouth shut and move on, but do not undercut another female. That perpetuates this whole damn argument that we're in a male dominated industry. We're in it because we as the females sometimes give them the power.
And the thing about it is that it's more women in the insurance industry than men. It is.
Yep.
And that was when my first AP, my first best AP ever conference, I was really telling people, and actually even before that, it's like 54% women in the
Yeah.
insurance industry, but a lot of us don't have executive roles or leadership.
Attack things that they don't think that they can do, and it says more about their shortcomings. So as long as you stay above that, with males especially, because they're a lot more business oriented, we're very emotionally oriented, so each one of us has a place in the market, but women tend to, emotional awareness kind of get away from them at some points. So
what was Melissa D. Hall doing when she was behind the curtain?
For sure, get myself in order. Get myself in order. So again, I had an agency, well, a call center that I was running, and it was taking a really big toll on me. Okay, I had a call center I was running, and it was a lot going on. I had faced setback after setback after setback. So like okay, just to kind of give you some insight, I was really hot and heavy with the television commercials for Medicare mail brand. When CMS came out and said that we could no longer use Medicare in our name, okay, that threw me for a loop in a real major way, because I had like branded merchandise. I like household name, television shows, commercials, like it was rising. You know what I'm saying? Like in a really big way, and my whole business was living off of that. And I didn't know what to do. They told us like 2 days before AEP, and I didn't. And even though a lot of people now still have Medicare in their name, even though that season a lot of people still ran commercials that weren't authorized, I'm like, my black tail can't do what these folks doing. Like, I just can't. It's always worse for us. Just keeping it real. Like, drink that, because it was like, but that's really real, and it's like I'm such a big figure, and so when that happened, it really started a tumble downhill for me. Okay. And I just was I was rushing, trying to figure it out. So I had that going on. And then on top of that, I like had some in my contact. And so then on top of that, I had, just some personal issues going on. And, I was dealing with my FMO at the time too, they just weren't what I thought they were. Okay. And I needed to make a change. So I ended up selling my book of business. Okay. I sold probably about 60% of it. Okay. And, because I just really kind of got to a place in my life where I was like, I can't keep doing this. Okay. Because it was just like everybody else around me, when you're a business owner, you're making sure everybody's getting what they need, right? They're getting the braces, the emotional support, they're getting the money, all of that, right? But you come last. And even still, without the commercials, it still appeared like I was quote unquote doing well. And yeah, I was. I'm making a ton of money. Okay. But mentally, I could not do it no more. Mentally, I did not want my life to look like this no more. So I went ahead, got through all of that, and started living my life and enjoying my life and processing exactly what happened to me, how I could work on not letting it happen again. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, until I got to a place where I could share, because the thing about it is, I don't know what it is. Like I wear contacts. Okay, definitely not crying. All right, so definitely not that. Okay, but I got to a place where I didn't want to come on here quote unquote bleeding all over people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're gonna give me a GoFundMe, can't nobody help me.
And you don't typically bleed on the one who cut you anyway. It's
Exactly.
everybody else that gets the
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was doing. Like I said, and then after that, like I kind of start when you saw me come back, right? You saw me kind of come back as more of like living my life. You know what I mean? If you notice, I didn't talk too much about insurance.
Right.
You know what I
Not only
mean?
that, but I feel like you had a weight loss journey too with all of that. Like you started self-help, self-love too, and you were working out and you look amazing right now. I mean,
Thank you.
you're very lighter than when I first met you and stuff. Like
Mhm.
you've lost a good amount of weight,
Mhm.
and that had take some discipline too. So tell us about
Yes.
that.
Yes, absolutely. So I did. I definitely went on a weight loss journey. And that right there, I'm gonna tell you something. Okay. I was suffering for something called weight blindness. Okay. What does weight blindness mean? It means that when you don't know you're fat, okay? I had no idea. Okay. Because usually I'm like, if a person is fat, right, people will tell them, or like they wouldn't be getting compliments and stuff, right? So people would still always compliment me. Okay. And then, so I didn't think anything was wrong, you know, and then like looking back on my pictures and stuff, I'm like, hold on, why didn't nobody tell me I look like this? And then I started thinking about the clues. Like my dad, he would always ask me if I worked out. He also always asked me if I work on a Peloton. People would say to me, "Oh wow, you have so much confidence." And I'm like, "Why do people always say I got so much confidence?"
You got a great personality.
Yeah, it was, I got so much. Oh, we can't believe you have. How do you have so much confidence? I'm like, what do you mean? What should I not be confident about? Because I was fat on TV. That's why, So yeah, so I'm like, didn't nobody tell me? And I had one girlfriend. I will tell you, I had one girlfriend, and she was a model, skinny model, down in Atlanta. Okay, and her name was Joe. Shout out to Joe. She was like, yeah, Melissa, you have so much, because she's from Africa. You have so much confidence for a big girl. When she told me that, I cursed her out. To this day, I ain't spoke to her. Till this day. And me and her was, because I'm like, who you think you calling big? Like, it was just a thing. Girl, I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry if you ever see this. But but yeah, so, and like I said, a lot of that weight though, for real, were the problems and the burdens I was carrying in my life. All those big business employees and stuff, people think that that stuff is like, oh, it's the best. But it was a big burden on me. It was a real big burden. And I just had to get it off. And and that's why too, a lot of these bosses and stuff, it's so funny because in insurance, we see life and death firsthand. But a lot of us are still overweight and don't take care of ourselves. Why is that? And I get it, we're running a business, all that stuff like that, but we see it firsthand. Like, self-care is essential out here. It's essential.
I agree with you. And I think it's a mind, body, spirit journey that we go through because this business is so character defining. Like, you just want to, like, if I need the stamina to stay up to 12, 15 hours that I work, or else, then again, some people don't have the choice. I know that some of it is hormonal. Some women just go through things that are beyond their control for their weight. So I don't judge. I just feel like I have my own like journey with it all because I was big growing up. I was always a big girl, so I knew that I wanted to be smaller. I knew, like, my whole life I knew that I wanted to be skinny because I was always fat shamed, my whole life. And I'm still a big girl. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying this is the best I've ever been, and I'm okay.
You look great. I mean, definitely after going through that, right, looking back, I definitely have grace for people who are like overweight or stuff like that. I do. I do. But we definitely got to like take care of ourselves out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really got to take care of ourselves. And also too, again, weight is usually a symptom of what is going on. That's why a lot of people, after they get divorced, they lose weight. You get what I'm saying? And also, I always say
A
this.
really good diet plan.
Huh?
Really good diet plan.
It's a really good diet plan. Okay. The wrong man can weigh you down for sure. The wrong man can weigh you down. And it is. And so I don't know, I just ask people, look at yourself, look at your life, like, what is weighing you down? This conversation is not meant to be critical in no way, but we got to really, at some point, we got to look at our lives and ask, like, what is weighing us down? Why do I have this weight on me? What is it? What's depressing me? Because
And it doesn't, it not to cut you off, but it doesn't just have to be physical weight.
That's what
It
I'm
could be
saying.
mental weight, emotional weight, all these different women try sometimes to do more than we're capable of doing, and then we get pissed off at ourselves that we didn't accomplish it.
No, for
Good.
sure. For sure. And that's the thing. Like, it is I do believe that everything, I guess spiritual, whatever, mental, whatever, it does what's it, manifest in the physical.
Yep.
Whether it is
Yeah.
weight gain, high blood pressure, cancer, you get what I'm saying? Car accidents, okay? All
Yep.
of those things, usually when a person gets into a car accident, right? It's because they're always running late, they're always rushing, they're always distracted. You know what I mean? They got a terrible home life. You know what I mean? Like, it's a reason why. You get what I'm saying? That car accident didn't, quote unquote, just happen, especially if you caused it, right? It's because of something else that's been happening that has manifested in
Yep.
the physical world.
Yep. I agree with you there.
We're gonna ask you to manifest one more thing. We got one more question, and then we'll give you an opportunity if you want to tell folks how to reach out to you to do that as well. The last question we always ask anybody that comes on and is willing to be unfiltered and vulnerable with us, is at the end of your life, at 85, 95, whatever age it is, you're sitting on your
115.
115, you're sitting on your porch sipping wine, doing whatever. What is Melissa D. Hall's legacy?
The lady who always stayed relevant. Okay. I'm gonna always be relevant. That's for sure. Okay. The lady who lived her life. Okay. The lady who loved her family. Okay. Who loved God and who helped other people, love him too. All right. And discover them for themselves. The lady who created a super wealthy legacy to not just leave her family, but to leave the world, a legacy of love, money and well-being, for sure. My goal, like my whole goal for life is to achieve ultimate well-being. I'm really into like well-being and wellness and all that.
I have somebody I think I might need to introduce you to. I think you guys would hit it off. But man, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, I've been in the space 9 years. I've been in your backyard.
Yeah.
We've never ran into each other face to face. So it's been an honor to get to know you on a little different of a level.
Yes.
But if you could just before we get off here, let everybody know how they can reach out to you, and we'll wrap it up.
Well, she was
Absolutely.
gonna give us exclusive, like an exclusive drop too from the beginning. So
Oh, we forgot about the exclusive. You don't have to. You don't have to if you don't want.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I'll do it for here. I'll do it for here. So, breaking news. So, I just want to let everyone know that we are bringing the best AEP conference back. Okay, yay. And Women Insurance Producers Unfiltered will be part of it. For those of you all who do not know, the best AEP ever conference is a conference designed to help agents write 100 applications during the annual enrollment period for Medicare. It is virtual. It's going to happen again December 17th from 10 a.m. And we have so many great guests. It's going to go till 4 p.m. It's totally free. All right. And we're going to have,
Now, wait, hold on 1 second. You said December 17th.
I'm sorry, June 17th. I
Okay.
apologize.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right. Got it.
It's going to
Yeah, I
happen
just wanted to make sure.
June 17th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to have, of course, agents from all over the United States. They're going to come. And that's going to be great. And it's very interactive, okay? Because we do pull people from out the audience. We're also going to have, again, special guests. Like we're going to have a panel on community because you do need community, either where it's learning about the rules, whether it is learning different marketing tips, how you all provide the emotional support, because your families might not know. So I have a panel of all the top social media and other group leaders that's going to come. Also too, I'm going to have 100 app producer panel. So all my producers that I know who write at least 100 applications, they're going to be on this panel. I also have things I'm going to be talking about branding, of course, how to build your brand, what that really takes. So your ecosystem, I call it your client acquisition ecosystem, is there. Like how you all know, Linda can attest to this. People know me not just online, but on the physical and in the media. We're going to talk about that ecosystem, how we do that. Okay. I'm also going to have people in there talking about websites, CRMs, I mean, events, of course, right? And just also how to handle the business. Like, it's going to be amazing, y'all. And I cannot wait for that. So that is exclusive. I haven't announced it to the world or anything like that. So it's only right that it's here first. And I'm just so excited. I mean, we're expecting about 1,500 agents to register for this. So it is a big deal and it's totally free and it's just there to educate. And I'm just happy.
yeah, we're so
Love
proud.
it.
Let me just tell you, you are an incredible light. We appreciate you so much, and thank you for everything you've done to our community, for the industry, for our community, especially. I know that you're in our group as well and you interact whenever you can, but you're also very, very busy and you have your own stuff. So we're just excited about the, the idea of collaborating with you and helping both of our networks out, because that's what it's all about.
Thank you so much. And I'll just leave y'all with this one thing, okay? And this was one of the things that kind of affected me as far as my absence and also being able to return. It was one gentleman in the Medicare industry, and honestly, I totally forgot his name, but he's very successful. He was online, and I was watching one of his videos, and on his video, he said, when I was focusing on agents and doing things for agents, I was making $50,000 a month. When I started focusing on the clients, then I started making $100,000 a month. I say this to say, those of you all who especially want to be quote unquote influencers and everything in this space, never lose sight that it is the clients that keep us in business. All right. With that said, when you focus on the people and you focus on the clients.
I think you're breaking up. Your phone just went away.
My phone?
I think your mic went out.
Yeah, your mic just can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Uh-uh.
Well, how do you respond if you can't hear me?
There you are.
Say something.
There you are. You were just in a tunnel. You were in
Okay, all right, I'm in my house. Okay, all right, I'm good.
Go ahead.
All right.
Because you were saying important things. We needed to hear that.
Okay,
Yeah.
which part we got? Okay.
No, you're basically talking about the goose that lays the golden egg is the client, and
Yes.
you can't.
All right. So when you focus, how about it? When you focus on the clients, right? The agents will get to know you. When you focus on the clients, it will give you the success, the track record that you need if you want to become an influencer and get to that success and everything when it comes to that. Because I get it. None of us really, well, some people like it, but for the most part, none of us really want to be in a grunt work day to day, right? Everybody wants to be famous and just sell courses and make money. Like everybody wants to do it. It's a great life. It is that passive income. Really, it is. Being on social media, having your group, all that stuff is fun. But when you focus on the people, that stuff will come. You know what I mean? That Zig Ziglar, if you help everybody else get what they want, you'll get what you want. So many people come into this business, they have success for a month or two, they launch a course, whatever, they got a bunch of speaking gigs, you never hear from them again because they were not fortified in the business for real. I went away and I got focused on my business. It wasn't as glamorous and all that stuff as, being online, talking to the agents and everything. But by doing that, it allowed me to do the work, go viral, where I can teach other people how to do it. And, I'm not on necessarily sinking sand. You understand? I have a solid foundation. So just do the work. Just do the work and it will come. And it will come. And then when you finally do get it, it will be sustainable. Because what happens a lot is that people pop up here, out of nowhere, haven't been in the business long. We've all heard it. I got all these leads and now I made 6 figures in 1 month. We've all heard it. We've all seen that story. But where are they now? And it's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And also too, who was financing them? Because a lot of them, they get financed too. And honestly, that is not real life. For a lot of y'all agents who are watching, that's not our life. That is not our life. It's just not. Okay. And you really, really, really fall in love with doing the work, because guess what? As soon as that falls apart, right? Because this is the thing, when you haven't done the work, you don't have enough experience to make that sustainable. So what happens? You run back to do the work and visit those clients that you thought you had outgrown. Okay.
Yeah.
So do the work and then you will get there. That's it.
Love it.
Words of wisdom right there. Do the work. WIPU Nation really appreciates you coming and having an unfiltered conversation with us. Guys, if you're watching this, tuning in for the first time, please like and subscribe. And if you're not a member of our Facebook group or Instagram, please go find us there. We put out content on a regular basis. Until next time, WIPU, let's go.
MelissaDHall.com/resources. MelissaDHall.com/resources.
We will make sure to be putting that also on our video, so that way it'll be in writing as well. And with You Nation, we have our own exclusive, I would say, announcement that's going to be coming up next week, Linda. On Monday.
Maybe coffee and conversations tomorrow. Maybe we'll
Maybe
see.
topping conversations. But yes, I mean, it's all about staying relevant, staying true to yourself, as Melissa has told us, and she's obviously embodied that because she's off camera just as the way that she is on camera, which is very, very admirable. And we're all here to grow together and, you know, enjoy each other's journey. So we'll see you at the next one.
Yes.
Peace.